Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 624, written by Leah. I willed myself into another universe. I was renewing our car insurance the other day, and I freaked out when I saw our policy with the wrong number plates on. I called my husband over to have a look, and he said that our number plate has always ended with 342. It hasn't. I'm so certain of this, I will die on this hill. The technique I always used to remember our number plate was that the last 3 digits halved each time. It used to be 421. I vividly remember this. We've had this car for 5 years, and whenever I fill in paperwork that requires the number plate, I remember the halving thing to get it right each time. I am so annoyed and so frustrated by this. My husband thinks I'm insane and has just laughed it off, saying I must be remembering an old car. I'm not. What makes this even weirder, the other day I did a meditation where you chant, "Tomorrow I will wake up in my best timeline." And well, now this happened. I did this meditation not really believing it would work. I don't even know if it has, but I'm extremely scared and creeped out. I haven't noticed anything else changing. Case notes, file number 624. Interesting. This brings up a question I never even thought to ask myself. Would we be able to use our own will to push our sentience into another universe? Could we command the server to abide by our bidding through active thinking, similar to using a command prompt on a computer to dictate what program to use next or perform other functions? Everything I've read so far is that quantum immortality is programmed to trigger when you die, but it's not inconceivable then that the mechanic exists, so maybe we can will it to some extent. Maybe we do it all the time without even realizing. Contingent, of course, on this all being a simulation. In my opinion, that's the most likely scenario going on right now. Some might say that life is a test. Hey, it could be. Maybe we're constantly tested in various scenarios to determine our moral fiber. Or maybe this is some long-term IQ test from the real universe. Maybe we're applying for some job there, and this is the best way they have to test if we're any good. If so, figuring out that there's a multiverse out there and that we can switch between it on a whim, maybe that's part of the test. I can imagine it now in the real world. When you discovered this feature, an achievement pop-up was unlocked. You've discovered the multiverse. Congrats. Case file number 625, written by iravikuttanpillai. The records no longer exist? It all feels very strange, and I'm seriously doubting my own consciousness. I am an Indian working in Saudi Arabia for the last 9 years, and haven't been able to take a vacation for the last 4 years, working continuously, because of the virus restrictions more recently. When I reached India last week after a long journey, I called my friends to meet at our usual fast food joint. We were talking about so many things. I was trying to catch up with what's happening around our locality. Then I proceeded to ask them about a new football turf I saw on the way and suggested we should play there sometime. My friends agreed to that, with a puzzled expression. I started to ask them about our local football club. Are they still using the orange jersey like they used to? Who is still playing in the team? Which tournament did we play last? They did answer all these questions, but at the end they asked me why I'm talking about football. I laughed at them and said because we love football, and I, along with another one of our friends, were the only local boys who used to play for the club when they participated in big tournaments. Then I reminded them how big the celebrations for the 2010 Football World Cup were in our village. They looked at each other, laughed at me, and said I've gone mad. I kept telling them about some tournaments and how I'm certain other players performed, and some other specific examples. Their reaction was the same as before. According to them, I was never into football, and I have never even been an average player. And some of the incidents I mentioned did really happen, but I was never a part of it. Now I'm pissed and confused at the same time. I know I was a good player. I know I played for that club, but these bastards keep telling me I wasn't. But there's one other thing. I know I played for my college team, and there's one guy from my place who was in my senior year in college. He must have known about me or at least seen me playing for the college team. So I asked my friend to call this guy to arrange a meeting to discuss football with me. He answered the phone, and like all my other friends, he said he had never seen me play football. But I have something else to prove my point. Photos. I uploaded some of the college team photos from the past when we won a tournament. I proceeded to open my Facebook and scroll through the photos. Scrolling down and down and down, there's no freaking photo. I clearly remember the photos with our real Madrid jersey, but it wasn't there. We decided to end this conversation there and I left for home. I was confused, but didn't talk to anybody about this. The next morning, I got a call from our courier services for the package I had sent from Saudi Arabia. Then I remembered something. I had sent my football shoes in that package. I used to play near my company camp with the same shoe. I received the package, took it home, opened it, and what the hell? There are no football shoes in there. Now I'm seriously pissed and called my company, and they said they have never seen me playing football. Called my college friends, they never saw me playing football. Asked my family, same answer. I am pretty damn sure what I think about me is real. I know it's only been a week, but I think everybody around me has gone through some eternal sunshine crap and their mind got erased or something. Or I'm in deep trouble and need help. My mother gave me a bunch of dresses which, according to her, I left here when I went back to Saudi Arabia 4 years ago. Guess what? I have no recollection of owning that bunch of dresses. It somewhat fits me given it's 4 years old, and as far as I remember, I use ready-made shirts. All the shirts she has given me are tailor-made, which is very unlike me. I went to the turf with my friends. There were a bunch of guys warming up to play. Some of them I knew before. Had a little chat and joined them and demolished the game. I was seriously doubting myself before, but not anymore. My skills are undeniable. I know who I am, and I know what I'm saying is true. The frustrating part is that my friends who were there with me said that I must have been playing with some Saudi guys for the past 4 years to be this good now. They still don't believe me. Lots of people recommended that I consult a doctor, which made me remember one incident that happened while I was on the college team. It was a training session, and I fell down while controlling the ball. The guy next to me tried to clear the ball, but he missed it and kicked me in the ribs. I shrugged it off and kept playing. After the session, we were changing to leave. I felt a pain in my ribs and I called my trainer. He called an ambulance and I was admitted to the hospital. They were doing some tests. Don't remember the names, but it had the clip-like thing attached to my finger. I was fine, but they wanted me to be in observation for 24 hours. I remember my father and uncle being there after I informed them. I remember my college friends being there on the next day. Sadly, as I expected, when I asked, nobody remembered anything. Went to the hospital to check the records. No records exist. Case file number 626, written by SpacedOutDreamerBoy, the air-conditioned Crowbar. So we have this little metal tool that we use to unlock any of the doors in our house if they have been accidentally locked from the inside. The only way I can describe it is that it looks like a tiny crowbar, hook at one end, flat head at the other. We've been keeping this tool in the cabinet area above our air conditioner. Well, around 2 months back, I had accidentally shut my bathroom door with the lock engaged. I went to grab the tool to unlock the door like always, and it was gone. I checked all around the cabinet and the floor, but it was nowhere. Even checked the tops of the door frames where it used to be, but nope, tool just disappeared. None of us really thought anything of it. Things got lost all the time, and we eventually found another tool that looked different from the original to replace it. Well, today, around 2 hours ago, my mom had opened that air conditioner cabinet for something, and lo and behold, there was the original tool in its original place. She was so confused. I laughed about it, telling her that it was a glitch in the Matrix. She's not really a believer of things like glitches, but I'm a big fan of glitch stories, so knowing she experienced a glitch along with me was amusing, and here we are.